So let's begin this session with the story of another man who became very wealthy, even though all odds stacked against him in his environment. It is a type of story that many of us are used to, and I'm certain this type of scenario has played in the lives of most of us at one time or the other. The key is we all act in certain ways which we think are random, and many successful people have followed these random acts unconsciously. So one of my goals with this video counsel is to help us see that we can have more of the good things that happen to us only if we recognize how they happen and then apply the process all over again. Somebody once said, things don't just happen. Things happen just. My story today is about two men, and this dates back a few centuries ago during the agricultural revolution boom. Both men with young families, young farmlands, fields, and they both traded produce with processors. After about 10 years into the trade, it started becoming very obvious that one of the men was becoming far more successful than the other. I would say after about 7 years, even though they were both in the same trade, with at par access to tools, skills, and very similar access to the market, if not exactly the same. They sold in the same place. Isn't that interesting? Why would two men be in the same business with similar access? And after working 7 years, one man got way richer than the other? Well, around the second year, when they got into business, the local government agreed to raise taxes for producers from 15%, was raised to 22%, and then it was raised to 35%. In just a few months, it was just too crazy. But this happened because it was related to defense funding due to an imminent threat to the local environment. So many of the men got discouraged. Some broke down. It was even far worse for those who had debt. And these two men weren't an exception. They growled, complained, but while one man, the man without a strong reason for working the fields, allowed himself to be consumed fully and discouraged to the extent that it reduced his output on the fields. The other man, whose reason for working the fields was to acquire more fields in a few years and expand his field, saw the taxes raised as an opportunity to work more fields so he can produce more in yield, and by so doing earn more money. So even with the high taxes, he had enough because he sold more, and even more because less men were working. In the fifth year, when the local government dropped taxes, he had acquired 25 times more field to work on than any other man in his trade. And just as the community celebrated the tax drop, and a few months after the tax drop, at the end of the fifth year, a terrible storm visited the land, the worst they had ever seen in years. The storm destroyed not only their farmlands, the fields, but also destroyed some parts of their homes. How sad. While most of the men sobbed away and cried with their families, the same man was so touched and moved by the thoughts of his family ever not having a roof over their head. It cost a fortune at the time to build a home made of concrete, and it was only a few government homes that were built with concrete. But this man made a promise to himself and his family that he would provide them with the comfort of a concrete home. So, for this reason, while everyone got sad, he lived and hired more hands, acquired even more fields, worked more land, and by the 10th year, he completed a fine concrete home for himself and his family and controlled more than 50% of the entire trade of the land. Wow. What an incredible story. What an incredible man. In very simple terms, what this man had done that others didn't. And I would say what this man profoundly had, more than the others, was that he had a purpose, a real reason for wanting what he wanted. Reasons make the difference in how your life turns out. And as a matter of fact, I think you should start taking notes and make that your first note. Reasons make the difference in how your life turns out. I heard that phrase for the first time from my mentor, and it opened up my entire life all over again. Because it's okay to have plenty of things you want to go for, but it's more important that you have a reason, your own why you want to do what you want to do. It's also very okay for you to use reason and purpose interchangeably. Purpose is stronger than object. And if you have enough reasons, you can do unimaginable and unbelievable things. You can get through the most difficult day and do the most incredible things. My mentor once said, and I think here's another key phrase for you to take note of: your reasons don't just pull you, they also pull you through. I heard that and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, wow. How beautiful it'd be to have a good and strong enough reasons to want all that you want. A reason to become more than you are. You know, I remember I asked my dear friend and business partner a few days ago that wouldn't you want to see what becoming a billionaire would turn you into as a person? He said, wow, that's a great reason to want to become a billionaire. To see what it would make of your future self. Isn't this amazing? One of the beauties of having a strong purpose is that your mind will be opened and unrestricted, and it will create more new possibilities for you. Another way of me saying that to you is, if you have a strong purpose, you will be enriched with multiple plans that will help you achieve your goal. And you can do something better and become stronger and wiser every single day to serve your purpose, to serve your main reason. Finally, here are my parting questions for you. How powerful is your reason for wanting to be the best parent to your kids, the best spouse to your husband or wife, as the case may be, the best leader in your community, and most importantly, how strong would it be to be the best version of yourself, that version that is going to serve as an example of greatness and achievement to others? Thank you so much, and it was nice having this session with you all today.